Okay, so we've now anchored up and we wanted to show off what is the most amazing beach club area on board the Sport Yacht 65. And as you can see, there's a hydraulic platform here which I'm stood on, and you've also got this really nice inbuilt steps into the back of the moulding which make getting in and out of the water just so easy. In addition to the steps, you've also got these really nice removable handles which just make access in and out of the water so easy. So as you can see here, it's a really easy process, just stepping on board, out of the water. Here you've got a shower, which is a really nice feature. So you've been for a swim, you've got a shower here, freshwater shower, before you go on board the boat. Really nice feature. And it makes this part of the boat just so different to everything we've seen before. Out of water, being able to actually walk into the garage is just something we haven't experienced before. You can see here you've got the synthetic decking on the floor, a completely flat floor with the Williams tender launch recovery system here, capable of taking a Williams 345 jet tender in the garage, which still leaves you ample amount of space next to the Williams to store bikes, paddleboards, and even a stand-up jet ski. You can see here this boat's got lighting, so you've got the lighting here, the racks there for the stainless steel rails that we mentioned a minute ago. And then, as you may have seen on other Sunseekers before, you've got the winch here for the tender launch recovery system. We don't have a tender in here today for the purpose of the video, but it is a super easy system and works really well. If you want extra water toys, the lifting platform, which I've just been stood on, will actually lift 450 kilos. So you could actually have another jet ski on the platform and a Williams, which again is a fantastic feature of this boat, being able to have two toys. Above you here, you've got lighting. This particular boat has colour changing lighting, which is operated from just down here, and you can flick through the colours, again, enhancing what is a very special part of the boat. So now we're going to jump up top, come and join me for the rest of the boat to see what other features we've got on board. So as you walk up from the platform, you've got your traditional transom shower here, which great location for washing down after being in the water. So coming up through, you've got really nice branded transom decks, gates with the Sunseeker logo on there, and your battery control isolator switches are just here as you come on board. Super to hand, really good. And then you've also got the passerelle fixed remote control there. Plenty of room here for med-style mooring with your rope bin locker here. And one thing you'll notice on this boat throughout is the level of detail. Even on the top of the rope bin locker there, you've got the 65 logo etched in. Really nice, quick, windlass, and a large cleat, perfect for mooring lines, for cross lines and for stern lines. So really simple. Moving slightly further forward, you've got a touch panel here for your lighting, so you can control a lot of your lighting features on here. And another nice feature on this boat is actually this starboard side opening gate. So if you are alongside a fuel quay or alongside a pontoon, you're not having to step over the rail, which is a really good feature. As you move forward up the side deck, what you first notice is how wide it is, how wide the side deck is. It really is big. You've got this rail which continues all the way forward, and you may notice no wire here. You've got a secondary piece of stainless. And when you're stood here, I mean, I'm fairly average height, but you've got floor to ceiling windows, which in the med at anchor here really do lend themselves out to this superb view that you get from the saloon. Continue walking forward here, see access into the inner helm. There's an electric window there. And then as you enter into what is this huge foredeck seating space, you spot speakers. You've got separate music zones throughout the boat, numerous different areas. You can separate zones for Sonos, audio, really smart. As I just step over here, you've got forward this really large, really good size double sun pad with a tilting backrest there. And then this huge seat here. I mean, you could easily sit five people up here, no problem at all. It's a lovely place to be. You've got the low level lighting, and with the clever design of Sunseeker, with the line going through the side of the boat all the way to the back, it really does keep that sporty look, and that's what's really important about this. From our sea trial earlier with Andrew, you can really see this is a performance boat. It handles really like a Sunseeker should, and it's great to have the look to match that performance. You've got this huge anchor locker here which opens, lots of room in there for fenders, and obviously you've got your anchor chain in there as well. You've seen us anchoring, simple process, and you've got that bit even easier with these deck switches here on the foredeck. There's a freshwater wash down up here, so later on when we go back in, it's very straightforward just to wash the anchor chain down and the anchor itself. There are covers which go over all of these areas, so yes, there's a lot of cushions on board, but they're all protected by lightweight, easy to fit covers. So if you are back in port and you want a covering up, it's really straightforward. Moving slightly further aft now, you get the first real picture here of that huge one-piece single windscreen. It is vast, it's got no mullions in it at all in the middle. If I stand next to the window, again, it shows off just how big it is. possibly one of the largest pieces of glass that Luma have ever made for Sunseeker. Tucked underneath the screen, you've got a couple of really useful storage bins. The covers I just mentioned are actually stored in here, and you've got another one on the starboard side, and you may have spotted a wireless phone charger just there in the middle. So let's go back down on the port side, and again you get a vision of just how wide this side deck is. I love the Sunseeker detailing. You've got the Sunseeker logo in this drain here, and you just catch a glimpse there of the LED lighting. We're going to talk about that a bit more later on, but the lighting on board this boat at night is just staggering. You've got LED lighting everywhere, and it just looks fantastic. Moving into the aft cockpit now. Hopefully the video gives it justice, but there is so much space. This boat's fitted with the wet bar feature, so you've got an electric griddle here with a sink. And then what is a really useful, practical, easy to use dining space. Could easily fit a couple of directors' chairs that side of the table. You've got the inbuilt cup holders, nice grab rail for when you're underway. And one feature I really like is these glass windows in the sections here which just protrude slightly into this aft cockpit, because it gives me a lovely vision forward. Sitting here I can see the water, I can see the beach, and on the starboard side I can see the beach. A really nice feature. I mentioned the lighting briefly earlier. Up top here you've got LED strip lights and downlighters, and tucked into this black section at the aft of the Sport Yacht section there you've got an awning which is integrated into the top. A smart feature, giving that very sleek line again at the rear of the hardtop section. Moving slightly further back, on top of the garage section, you've got another huge sun pad, at least 2, 3, possibly even 4 people on there. And if you look at the detailing in the seating, everywhere you go, you've got this gorgeous piping, really setting off that style. And the seating actually folds aft over the top of the garage, giving a really smart transom area. During our last take, we had to stop because of the rain in Spain. You're going to have to forgive, a few things have got wet. One of the items I didn't get a chance to talk about in the aft cockpit area was the crew cab access. So underneath the stairs here, you've got this door which lifts up, and in there you've got a crew cabin access for one in there, and this door opens as well. So it's got its own separate loo, its own separate basin. So actually for a captain, if you're cruising, whether in the Ibiza or further afield, it's quite handy to have a captain on board, and that's a great space for them to stay. We're going to start moving into the saloon to show off, out the rain, some of the features of the boat. And the first thing you come to is this triple piece door, which as you can see is a really vast section of stainless and glass. And it gives you the ability to close off this saloon, but equally to open the saloon and give you this open air living space, which you've really got to see in person to appreciate just the size of it. Moving into the saloon, first thing you come to is the galley on the port side. Nicely arranged, you've got the top lockers here. You can see the Sunseeker standard crockery set in there. By having the galley up on the port side, up top in the saloon here, is you feel very connected to your outside dining space. So if you are entertaining on board, even if you're in the galley preparing food, you're still very much part of what is the entertaining space. Nice place here to serve. There are a couple of different options here. You can actually have standard bar stools here, so you can have this as a serving area or even a breakfast spot. Let's move further into the saloon and just see some of the other features. Starboard side, good area here again for serving food, storing bits and pieces. And inside here you've got 2 large fridge compartments. Freezer one side, fridge the other. There is actually an option to have high-low fridge freezer section here, which is another option. Into the saloon, as with the outside, there's detailing everywhere you look. Beautiful stainless steel detailing on the edge of these shelves and the way the leather's inserted in them. And you'll pick up bits of mirror everywhere you go, just to reflect the light and give you that sense of space. Starboard side seating, a bench seat, and a port side, a lovely C-shaped seating with a rise and fall table, perfect for dining or for coffee. On a day like today, even when you've got the rain outside, this is a beautiful place to be, fantastic view, looking out, and that's extended with that single piece windscreen, really carries your eye forward as you walk into the saloon. Remember, this is a sport yacht boat, so we don't have the opening roof, but forward here you've got the glass section in the roof there, and that lets a lot of natural light in. We spoke earlier on outside about that single piece windscreen. Again, it's covered in rain, so you'll see that, but it just opens that view forward of the boat. So you look right through the boat, out forward, and just extends that view. Sit in what are very smart, comfortable seats. Great layout, everything's to hand. That single piece windscreen again gives you that superb visibility. You've got an electric window here on your starboard side, joystick, control for the screens, and then your throttles. The first thing you're presented with is these two large Garmin screens, and they're linked through to your Volvo system. So these give you lots of functionality, different options, and this allows you to control not only interior lights, but also the tanks on board, monitor your fuel position, your water position, etc., etc. Moving slightly lower down, you've got these two round dials, which are controlled by this toggle switch over here, and that, like up top, everything you need to know with the engine side of things. In the centre of the dash here, you've got your CM8 boat control system. Very straightforward to use. You control your aircon units from here, your battery charging system, fuel quantities, water quantities, that type of thing. You've got, of course, your chart here. You can see where we're anchored here. You've also then got the option to control your Seakeeper gyro stabiliser, and that's all controlled through those screens. Let's walk down to the cabin spaces and show you what's down there. Right, as we come down the stairs here into the lower lobby, lots of space, and you get a lot of light coming down from that one-piece windscreen, which makes it feel really light and airy. Going forward now, you're into the forward VIP master cabin, where there's lots of head height, lots of room, lots of really nice detailing features, and these shelves here on the starboard side as well. Perfect for storing wireless charging locations either side of the bed. Perfect and really practical features. As you exit the forward VIP cabin, you've got an ensuite nice shower with a ceiling-based rose electric toilet and a beautiful basin with storage underneath. On the starboard side, you've got a twin cabin. Again, lots of head height, lovely detailing. On the port side here, you've got the day heads. Moving down into the aft cabin, there's a couple of different options here. This particular boat has got the standard layout, which is a utility come storage area, but there is an option to have what is called a Grandmaster or indeed a fourth cabin. Here, you've got drawers, which are nice and deep, and ample storage here underneath, storing items, as well as an ice maker and an additional fridge. So now we enter into the master cabin, and this is a superb space. There's lots of head height, as you did have in the other cabins, and it's full beam, so you get a real sense of the volume on board this boat. And these large windows take your eye outside, and you can see, look at this view here, amazing. Opening portholes if you do want any fresh air, but obviously this space is air conditioned. There's ample storage on the starboard side, and on this side you've got a perfect breakfast dining area, wireless charging points either side of the bed, nice practical feature, a large television setup, and then a really well appointed ensuite to this cabin. So in the master cabin ensuite here, really nice shower area with a ceiling-based rainfall shower head, a good sized basin with storage above, and with the rest of the boat, lots of lighting everywhere you look, the lighting, and it really does stand out.